through a minefield of race cars at 190 miles an hour, and here comes Earnhardt.
How did he get through all these cars? I don't understand how he did that.
The Intimidator is scraped and beaten on the right side, but he will not be denied. Mr. Restricted to Bobby Labonte. Wow. You see him motioning. He's motioning the 55,000 strong.
Richard Childress, both his cars running 1-2 as he comes for the white flag.
White.
Oh, Earnhardt's loose. Dale Jr. down on the inside, but he gathers it back in. He's on the apron of the racetrack, Ned.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. and he saves the race car. Up almost against Kenny Wallace has likewise never won a Winston Cup race. 3 Chevrolets on the final lap at Talladega. $2.7 million and $1 million bonus for Dale Earnhardt if he can hang on. The no ball 5 contender, Mr. Restrictor Plate, Dale Earnhardt comes down and will take his 10th career victory at Talladega.
Kevin Harvick trying to become only the 5th driver in NASCAR history to win in only his 3rd Winston Cup start.
And I know Richard Childress has got to be jumping up and down with joy right now, no matter what happens.
And somewhere, too, must be Dale Earnhardt, because this is his car that Kevin Harvick is driving. The paint is different, the number is different. But not since Dan Gurney in 1963 at Riverside, California, as a driver won in his 3rd start.
Jeff Gordon's going to give it all he's got. His turn, his time. He's going to try to go down bottom. He's going to try to get down under him.
Gets a good run there in the middle of 3 and 4. They'll be coming for the white flag right here. 1 lap to go.
The Childress team trying to go to victory lane for the 2nd year in a row in this race.
We had a photo finish here last race. We're getting ready for another one, folks. Get up off your seats. Here they go.
For 2 in a row, trying to set him up.
Gordon's going to make the big move on the inside when they get down here to turn 3. Slow car might be in the way. Here he comes. He's going to drive it to the bottom.
Oh, Harvick's leaving a lot of bottom open.
This slow car is going to be in the way.
Just like a year ago, he's going to get him, though. He's going to get him. Gordon got loose. It's Harvick.
Harvick by inches. Harvick by inches.
Here now is Dale Earnhardt, but it's Bill Elliott in that T-Bird that's been running faster than anybody all day, and he closes right in behind. Look how close he is.
If you're Bill Elliott, I knew what I saw wasn't right. If you're Dale Earnhardt, I knew what I saw was pretty amazing.
And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible.
No one has ever gotten a car that far out of shape and saved it, particularly when it was in the grass.
I knew what I saw my daddy do. He just took himself to another level, you know, and that he had just shown everybody in that field how much better that he was than they were.
I clearly had the quickest car. You know, he was trying to cut me off every way he could.
Even though a couple of moves might have been wrong moves and a couple of them weren't fair, and Daddy just, you know, come out on the good end of the deal.
If I could have got back out on the racetrack, I'd have wrecked him. I've never been so mad in my life. I would have wrecked.
Elliott now getting a challenge from Tim Richmond, but he closes again right in behind Earnhardt, coming down off turn 4. And Earnhardt loses it, goes on the grass, comes back, and Elliott goes inside. And Earnhardt still got the lead. Incredible.
What a muscle move on the outside. Fastest qualifier here for the 500, showing his muscle now.
3 makes in the 500, Chevy, Pontiac, Ford, that's how they run. But Earnhardt has a benefit. There's a slow car up ahead.
And there's trouble coming off of turn 2. Some cars get strangled. It might be this. Whoever gets back to the start-finish line, they'll get the white and the yellow together.
Lake Speed and John Andretti tangle. As the leaders head for turn number 3, Andretti and Spencer got together.
This could be the Daytona 500. Bobby Labonte goes to the outside.
Labonte up high. Earnhardt uses the lap car of Rick Bass as a pick. 20 years of trying, 20 years of frustration. Dale Earnhardt will come to the caution flag to win the Daytona 500. Finally, the most anticipated moment in racing. If John Elway can win.
Welcome to SportsCenter with Stuart Scott. I'm Dan Patrick. Coming up, we'll bring you the day and night in sports, but we begin with the obvious somber notes.
The Daytona International Speedway, where the man who's won more races there than any driver in history loses when it counts most. Dale Earnhardt bidding for a second Daytona 500 checkered flag. And what he hoped would start a season to win a record 8 points championship died in a last lap crash.
This is undoubtedly one of the toughest announcements that I've ever personally had to make. But after the accident in turn 4 at the end of the Daytona 500, we've lost Dale Earnhardt.
He arrived to the hospital at 16:54. The full trauma resuscitation was attempted for about a little over 20 minutes, at which time he was placed on a ventilator. Multiple IV lines were given, IV fluids, chest tubes, various diagnostic tests. He never showed any signs of life and subsequently was pronounced dead by all the physicians in attendance.
NASCAR has lost its greatest driver ever, and I personally have lost a great friend. And that's Bill Francis' quote, and I think that pretty well sums it up for the NASCAR community right now.
Dr. Bohannon indicated that Earnhardt suffered massive head trauma. An autopsy will be performed on Monday to determine the exact cause of death of the 7-time Winston Cup champion. In Daytona Beach, Florida, I'm Scott Van Pelt, ESPN.
Scott, thank you. ESPN's Mike Massaro joins us now. Mike, NASCAR lost 3 drivers last year, and every driver knows this is always a possibility every time you get in a car. But is it somehow different now with Dale?
Absolutely. To draw a comparison to other sports, and I don't think I'm overstating this, Dale Earnhardt was NASCAR's equivalent to, say, Michael Jordan or a Tiger Woods. He was a 7-time champion. He was 6th on the all-time win list with 76 victories, and after so many years behind the wheel of a race car, nobody ever expected this would happen.